Hey Crosswatchers for Scorpio, welcome to your general cross-watching edition video for September 2019. If you are here, this is done in the spirit of good, okay? We're not spying, we're not throwing shade, we're not spilling tea. This is done for the intention of what is going to be in the best and highest good of everyone involved, including Scorpio, okay? We don't do zodiac bashing on this channel. This is not about hate in any way. If you're a Scorpio and you're watching, keep in mind, guys, this is being done in the perspective of the cross-watcher. This is being done for the cross-watcher, and it might not resonate with you because it's a general reading, and your person might not be into tarot readings, or your person might not be on my channel. So there's a lot of factors there in their general readings. So we're going to go ahead and see. I feel like it needs 2 more shuffles. I'm sorry, guys. It needs 2 more shuffles. We're going to see what is coming up here for those of you who are cross-watching about Scorpio or about a Scorpio for September 2019. So Scorpio is in this energy. Scorpio is in 6 of Swords. So Scorpio is in an energy where they don't want drama. They don't want drama. Scorpio tends to be someone that can be very intense. And I can say as a Scorpio that a lot of the times, because Scorpios are very intense in their emotions and their feelings, when there's somebody that they are really caring for, they will be very loyal, incredibly loyal, right? And so like they will drop everything for that person, or they will come running if something is wrong. And your Scorpio may not be coming off that way in September, especially those of you that you've been involved with a Scorpio for a while, or you've been in a relationship with this person for a while, or you've been friends for a while. They might feel to you like they're not as accessible. And it could be because they're in this 6 of Swords energy and they're wanting to clear their head. You know, like they've got a lot of things they're trying to balance out, and they want to be in lighthearted energy. And Scorpio is usually somebody you can have really deep conversations with. But Scorpio might be in such a deep place or going through their own things that they just want to keep things lighthearted. They want to just keep things positive, okay, in September. So if you're trying to be close to a Scorpio, or if you're trying to spend time with a Scorpio, they might be more of the mindset of just being able to put the past behind them and get some peace and quiet. They might even be in the mood, Crosswatcher, like they might be wanting to spend time with you, but they might seem very quiet, and you're like, what's wrong with this person? Like, why are they being like this? And talk to me, and what's bothering you? And they're like, nothing, I'm just quiet. You know, it could be like they actually like being able to be quiet with somebody, okay? Especially if your Scorpio has a very stressful job, or if they have a job where they're talking all day, like me, or they have a job where they're on the phone all day. They may just kind of like when they're relaxing to be just in silence, or they just might be going through a period of time where they just feel like they need silence, okay? They may want to get away and do something very quiet, very relaxing, very calm. They are not bored with you. They probably just appreciate the fact that they can just sit quietly with you, and that you're not wanting anything from them. Like just being in that space together can feel very nourishing for them, or very healing for them. And also, as I'm looking at the card, I'm seeing all these dark clouds. I'm seeing this beautiful blue water. And I'm seeing that light shining through, that patch of light where the clouds are breaking and there's those birds. I just feel like your Scorpio also has some plans and ideas for improving their life, improving their future, some projects, some things that they're working on that they're not talking about right now. They're not going to. It's not that they don't trust you. It's not that they don't want you to be a part of it. It's just because I feel they're feeling very connected to their spiritual center at this time, and they feel like it's between them and spirit, or it's between them and God. And, soon enough when the time comes, they will tell you more about it as things are coming together. But they're really focused on something that they feel like is going to bring more love and more positivity and more light, not just to them and not just to you, but like to the world in general. So I feel like they're very focused on some task at this time, a labor of love, some kind of labor of love. Okay, and if they seem like their mind is somewhere else or they're seeming quiet, they're coming to peace with a lot of things, and they enjoy being able to be quiet with you. Okay. So next we have the world. So there may be travel. Six of swords. Like I said, it can be traveling, and I said some of them might be wanting to get away with you. And then we have the world coming up is also can signify travel. So maybe it's somewhere significant. Maybe they're wanting to go somewhere very far away, and maybe they're planning or they're thinking of going somewhere to another part of the world, and they might be inviting you to go along. And so it might be something that's kind of like a spiritual journey for them, right? So if that's the case, if that's the sense, and if they're including you on this, or if they're opening up and telling you about this in September, you need to understand that they might not be going like to sightsee and go shopping and do all of this like adventure time kind of stuff. It might feel to you, Crosswatcher, like a boring trip, so those are some things that you might need to get out and figure out ahead of time and hear them, so that when you go you won't be disappointed. I feel that if you go understanding why they want to go, you won't be disappointed, like if you know ahead of time. And that's why Spirit's telling you that. Otherwise, if you don't know and you do go away and you come back, I'm like, why in the world did Scorpio waste my time? We hardly even did anything. I feel like we could have done that here. I don't even know what that was about. Like I felt like they were bored with me. And meanwhile, Scorpio's like, oh my goodness, that was such an amazing time that I got to get away and reconnect with my higher self and connect with Spirit, and think about my ideas and meditate and have these spiritual experiences in a place that's been calling to me. And I'm so glad Crosswatcher got to be a part of that. And you guys have completely and totally different impressions about how it went, and that can be a really big miscommunication. So that's something that Spirit is bringing in and helping you to realize or helping you to know. Okay. For some of you, it might not be about travel. Excuse me, I got a drink here before I start coughing. My poor throat. So some of you are coming into this energy of completing a cycle. The World card is a major arcana card, and you may have heard me say when these cards come up, it tells me that there's a contract of why you all have met or why you all have come together. And so you're helping each other complete an old cycle, come into a more peaceful type of relationship, or even experience these experiences together in terms of a different culture or just a different way of life. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio who is about to be known or about to be seen on a very large level. And Crosswatcher, Spirit is asking you to make sure that you're prepared for that. Asking you to make sure that you understand that this is someone who's gonna be busy, right? That might be why you had that Six of Swords, in the beginning, saying this is someone that might have a lot going on. So at the end of the day, they're just gonna want to be in the quiet. They're just gonna want to be in the quiet places. Like they're gonna want to chill, right? And so can you deal with that, or is that going to be boring for you? It's something for you to really consider. Can you deal with that, or is that going to be boring for you? Okay. Even if your Scorpio is not like somebody who's going to be a celebrity, or even if your Scorpio is not somebody who's going to be known in like that big of a capacity, they may be in a really advanced level of their career, or their life purpose or their life path that's keeping them very busy and very in demand. And again, they're just going to want to chill. They're going to want quiet time. And it's like, are you going to be okay with that? Or is that going to be boring for you? Next, we have Queen of Pentacles. So if you're wondering, what can I do for Scorpio? How can I get Scorpio to feel more comfortable in the relationship? How can Scorpio and I draw closer together? Well, your answer here, my dears, you've got Queen of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles has a lot of different meanings, but for me, when it comes up in a reading, especially like when it comes into relationships, it's to me a card about being happy and comfortable in the home. The home being a sense of sanctuary. And Queen of Pentacles, she's very much in that physical realm, okay? This is earth sign energy. So think of all of the physical things, right? Good food, comfortable environment, a nice bed, a comfortable bed, a nice clothes to wear, being in the physical comforts. And this includes sensuality as well, the physical connection. Okay, so your Scorpio might be very busy, and one way that you can help kind of ground them is help them connect with their physical needs. This doesn't mean that you have to wait on Scorpio hand and foot. This doesn't mean you have to be their servant. It just means that you can kind of help create a nice little environment or a nice little atmosphere where when they're with you, you guys can be chill, you guys can be cozy, you guys can be enjoying each other's company, having a nice meal, cuddling, being comfortable, having a sense of sanctuary. Like, here's where we can be away from the world together. Here's where we can be away from the hustle and bustle together. So that kind of energy, okay, that kind of energy. I also feel that some of you are dealing with a Scorpio who really, really, really does have a lot that they're trying to create right now. Very busy with projects, very busy with things that they're doing, like to advance their career or advance their business, or if they're very artistic or creative, things that they're wanting to put out there, like into the world to help other people or inspire other people. And so I do feel you are gonna feel like this Scorpio is spending a lot of time alone and focusing and working on those things, but they're very, very focused on something that they're very passionate about, that they're wanting to put out there, because they genuinely feel this is going to be a good thing. This is going to help people. People need this. And so they're very driven on that task at this time. Okay. So again, some of you might be used to some Scorpios that maybe have a little bit more adventure, energy, and doing things that are more exciting, or doing things that are more like connected, or just that very intense, one-on-one. And you might just kind of feel like you're sharing Scorpio right now with their ideas, with their dream, their passion, whatever it is that they're working on, their career, right? They might not be as intently connected with you as they have been in the past, but there's something that they're creating, there's something that they're working on. So when you all are together, it's going to be something very beautiful for them, and for the people that are going to be receiving it, or being inspired by it. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep in mind, why they're doing this. It's not coming from a place of ego. It's coming from a place of love. And, when you all are together, they're just wanting to have some chill time, some comfortable time. Next we have the Chariot, which is a major arcana card. So the major arcana cards are telling me really big crossroads, really big things happening, really, when it comes up for me between two people, it tells me there's a soul contract, or there is a reason why you all have met, okay? The Chariot, to me, makes me feel, usually when I see it, that this is someone that is doing something alone. They're doing it by themselves. So you might feel like, oh, well, let me help Scorpio, or let me have them come over and work on stuff here at my place, or let me help them with the projects. And this is no, this is something they're doing on their own. This is something they're doing independently because it's a part of their life contract. It's a part of their purpose, right? They're doing it in their space. They're doing it on their time. They're doing it in their way, right? And it doesn't mean that they're shutting you out because they don't trust you or they don't like your ideas. You might feel and you might see Scorpios going through a lot of changes and you're wanting to be a part of that. But Scorpio has to do this on their own. Okay, so they're not shutting you out because they don't appreciate you. This is like an assignment that they have to kind of figure out on their own. Another thing too here with the chariot makes me feel that Scorpio is about to, for some of you, travel, like really, really travel. And you may get to go on some of these things with them, but you may not get to go on other things. Some of the places, some things they may have to do alone. And again, it's nothing against you. They're not doing anything shady. It's not that they don't want you around. There's just a lot of things that are happening and changing in their life. I also feel with the chariot that your Scorpio is going to be leaving certain people or certain places behind. Your Scorpio may be interested in relocating. And that is something you're going to have to think about very seriously. Because if you do relocate with the Scorpio, Scorpio is just really, really going to live very simply in their alone time. And you might feel, well, that's boring. Like, I'm going to go all the way somewhere else and I'm not going to see my friends and I'm not going to see my family and you're going to be a homebody. Like, that doesn't sound good to me. And other ones of you might be like, you know what? No, that sounds wonderful to me. But these are the things that you're going to have to consider. Okay, before those really big steps happen or those really big steps occur. Some of you have a very intense connection with Scorpio, but because all of this stuff is happening with Scorpio, they cannot move the relationship any further at this time. They're on some kind of divine cosmic mission. They have some really big project. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about ego. They are doing something because they really feel like they need to do this to make a difference. And some of you might be hurt by that, Crosswatcher. You might feel like, well, no, you need to focus on me or you need to focus on the relationship. I don't feel Scorpio is leaving the relationship. I don't feel that Scorpio is shutting you out. It's just, again, you might have to share Scorpio with this cosmic mission or this cosmic kind of work. Okay, and it's going to be up to you to figure out if you can be on board with that, because there's going to be a lot of big changes, especially if this is a Scorpio that you've known for a while. Okay, especially if this is a Scorpio that you've known for a while, you might feel and sense like they're going through changes. Okay, and you may feel like you have to kind of get to know them all over again in some ways before you can decide if you want to continue with them or if you want to commit to them. I don't feel like the relationship is ending. I just feel like it's going through changes because Scorpio is going through a lot of changes. And you, Crosswatcher, got to figure out if you still like this new Scorpio. So next we have here the Three of Swords. So some of you may be sad about the changes. You might not like it, or you may be sad because you feel like, they're very busy and they're not able to, give you that intensity that they were giving you before, or, you can't talk about your feelings as deeply as you could before because they seem very occupied. Well, anytime Three of Swords comes up, this to me in a reading says it's time to examine what's been pushed down, what you haven't been able to deal with. It's coming to the surface now so that you can release it, so that you can heal it. Some of you also have a Scorpio that as they're going through this project, I'm going to tell you this right now, as they're going through these projects or as they're coming onto this path of accepting their life mission, all of their gunk is going to start coming up. All of their gunk is starting coming up. You know, some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio that's going to energy healers or retreats or seeking out a spiritual mentor. I don't know, maybe like going to a part of the world where it's legal to do like the ayahuasca ceremonies or things like that. Like they might be doing really big things like that. And as a result, really big stuff might be coming to the surface. And so, those are the things, Crosswatcher, that might be keeping Scorpio so occupied. They're going through a lot of changes and a lot of release. Some of you will have this Scorpio open up to you in September about what they're releasing. They might not go into details about their hopes and dreams and projects, but they might open up and tell you that, you know, as they're working, they're having a lot of things come to the surface. And it might be very, very intense, Crosswatcher, but if you can just be there for them, the one thing I've noticed about Three of Swords, the feelings come in very intensely, but they get out very quick, okay? It's not like a mourning or a sadness that's gonna last for, you know, months or years. Typically it's just something that it's very big and then it's gone, right? Like a kid, like a little kid running on the playground that falls down and gets hurt. Oh, they will scream, they will cry like it's the end of the world, but after a couple of minutes, a band-aid and an ice pack later, they're off running away, pretending they're Batman or Superman again in like in no time, right? So it's that kind of thing. Like it might be a really big release and it might feel scary, but just keep in mind that, you know, they're gonna let it out and it's gonna be done, it's gonna be gone, and then it's out of the way, and then you don't have to worry about it. So Crosswatcher, you know, your Scorpio might not be a whole lot of fun in September. I'm just letting you know that right now. But they're not doing it on purpose. They've got a lot going on, right? And if it's not for you, if you don't like it, if you don't want to be there for it, Scorpio will understand that. You know, Scorpio will understand that, because I feel like you're dealing with a Scorpio that's in a very, very connected energy right now spiritually, right? And they're gonna understand. They're gonna get if like it's not for you or if you're not feeling it, right? Some of you might be breaking a Scorpio's heart. Some of you Crosswatchers might be like, Scorpio, you're going through some changes and I admire and I respect that, but this just isn't working for me anymore, right? And they'll be hurt, but you know, they'll move on. Life goes on. As sad as they might be, Crosswatchers, some of you may be breaking a Scorpio's heart, right? Or you know, it's your decision to make here what you want to do, okay? But Scorpios are very loyal, so if this is something that you're able to endure and be there for, you know, then you could have just someone that has your back for life, you know. But again, if it's not for you, if you're not feeling it, that's your call to make. But Scorpio is going through a lot of changes in September. All right, my darlings, be sure to watch your love reading for the month, and be sure to watch the weekly forecasts, because some weeks those are going to bring in a lot of really important messages for you in your journey. I don't like to do love every single week. I do love in Crosswatchers once a month. And every week I do a general reading for all of the zodiac signs, because I want you guys not to forget about yourselves. I want you to have readings for you, your life. So be sure to take advantage of those as well. If you need a private reading, you can click on the Calendly link in the description of the video and schedule your private reading there. Again, my dears, I thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I am wishing you a fabulous September.